Today I'm going to show you how to do the assignment number 4, which is the Cambria Museum. Basically, you're going to be learning how to use the shapes and drawing shapes in Illustrator. Most of ours are going to look basically the same, minus the colors. You're going to have the opportunity to choose what colors you want for your Cambria Museum. You see, all these just choose a little bit different. They all look the same minus a different color, so that's the only difference. Yours is going to have different colors than mine, but basically it's going to look like this. So the first thing I need you to do is go ahead and open up the Cambria Museum start file. Go ahead and open it with Adobe Illustrator CS6. Security warnings like this saying that a lot of the font that was on the start file is not contained in your Illustrator. That's okay. Just click OK if you get any security warnings. Now let's go ahead and reset our window so that everyone looks the same. So go to Window, Workspace, Reset Essentials, and then if you want your navigator, go ahead and open up that. So Window, Navigator, and then zoom in a little bit. So everyone's picture should look like this. So this is where we are going to start from. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a flower. If you notice, this kind of looks like a vase with some stems. So we are going to work with that first. So the first thing I want you to do is go to your rectangle tool and choose the star tool. And then all you need to do is click. We're going to accept the default, so click OK. And then we're actually going to create 2 of these. So we're going to edit, copy, edit, paste. So now we have 2 of them. The second one, grab your selection tool. We're going to select the second one. We're going to distort this one. So we're going to go to Effect, Distort and Transform, Pucker and Bloat. And we're going to change it to, we're going to pucker it 50%. And then click OK. And then we're going to change a color. So over here on the very top with the fill color, just choose a color, whatever you want. I'm going to choose this orange color. Actually, I'm going to choose this salmon looking color. And then once you have your color, go ahead and bring it on top of the other one, just like that. And then we're going to rotate it a little bit so that it's on top, kind of like that. Now the second star, select your second star with the selection tool, and we're going to change the color of that one as well. I'm going to choose this color right here, the orange on the outside, yellow on the inside. And then we're actually going to do another shape. So you grab your star tool, but this time we're going to do an ellipse tool. And we're going to draw the center of our flower. I'm going to center mine a little bit more. Okay, and then change the color to whatever you want. I'm going to change mine to yellow. And then I'm actually going to make, instead of a black stroke, I'm going to change mine to a blue stroke. So it'll have that blue outline to it. Now, okay, so now I have my inside. I'm actually going to create another one. So I'm going to copy the center circle and paste it, and then we're gonna transform it just like we did the one of the big stars. We're gonna go Effect, Distort and Transform, Pucker and Bloat. But instead of last time we did a 50, this time we're gonna do a -50. So click OK, and if you want, you can click the preview button and preview what it's gonna look like before you press OK. So that way, if you don't know exactly what % you want, just hit the preview button, and then you can just move the scale until you find the shape that you like. And then I'm going to change my color to blue. You can change it to whatever color you want. I think it's kind of looks more like a purple right now. So kind of have this right now. And if you decide that you don't like the colors, you can always go back and change it. So if I wanted to change that to an actual orange, I could kind of You know, I could change it to an actual orange color. I'm going to grab my stem here, and make sure you are grabbing things with the selection tool. And I'm going to increase the point size to 3 so I can get a little bit thicker of a stem. Then with the second stem, I actually am going to change it. Like, we could add another flower right here, but instead I'm going to open up my brush palette. And if you don't have this right here, you can just go to Window, Brushes, and it'll pop up. And I'm going to click this leaf, and it's going to automatically change that line to a leaf. The leaf is a little bit big, so I'm going to double click on the palette over here, and we're going to change the width to 50. So right here it says 100, we're going to change that to 50. And the same thing with this. If you don't know exactly what size you want, you can hit the preview button, and then once you change it, it'll preview it, and then you can just figure out what you like from there. We want to apply to strokes, and now you have the first thing on your paper, which is your beautiful flower. The next thing that we're going to work on is the vase. So we're going to work on right here. The first thing we have to do is we're going to click on it. And the reason we're clicking on it is so that we can get the color scheme right here, so that when we create the bottom of the vase, we have the same color scheme going on. So click on the vase, go to your elliptical tool, or it might be your rectangle tool, might even be on your star tool, and then click the ellipse tool. And then draw a bottom to your vase. And I know it's kind of try to center it with this one. So if you notice, and you can put the vase more towards the bottom, you can put the vase more towards the top, but I wouldn't go past this blue tablecloth right here. Or actually, I'm not sure. I don't think that's a tablecloth, and try to center it on your page. That way we don't have an off-centered vase. And you can always hit the shift button and click on the vase too, and then click off of it, and it'll kind of show you what it's going to look like. So then from there you can use your arrow keys to move it a little bit. Might move mine over a little bit. So just kind of find a spot that you're happy with it. I think I'm kind of happy right there. Okay, so once you're happy with your vase, go ahead and click on the circle, and then holding down Shift, click on the rectangle, and then we're going to go to Window, Pathfinder, and then under Pathfinder, we're going to click the third one from the bottom, which is the Merge, and it's going to merge these two shapes together. So once you merge them, you won't be able to move the circles. Do not merge them until you're happy where your circle at, because it's going to combine the two once you're done. See, so now I have one big object instead of a square and a circle. From here, I can change the color of my vase. You can just do a simple color if you want, or you can go over here to swatches, and you have all these types of swatches. But you also have, if you open up this tiny little arrow right here and go to Open Swatch Library, all of these are different types of swatches. So you have, take a look and look at them. So you have nature, so you have landscape. So it's going to give you all your different greens and landscape types of colors. You can do your gradients. So you could do maybe foliage and do some greens. If you want something crazy, you could go gradients and go color harmonies. And this is going to get you like your multi-colors. I think if you choose, let me see, gradients. Let's do spectrum. I think this one's kind of like a rainbow colored. So just kind of find one that you like. I'm probably gonna do I like this one, I think, so I'm gonna stick with this one. So just choose the color that you like. And you should have a flower vase with a colored flower vase with a flower right now. And then the next thing, do this tablecloth of grapes. And I know it doesn't really look like grapes now, but it will once we're done. So I'm going to zoom in over here. Now if you notice, we have a large chunk out of our blue little tablecloth here. So we have this huge chunk right here. So we're actually going to fix that. So with your selection tool, go ahead and select the blue. Okay, and then with the pen tool, which is right underneath the pencil tool, right underneath the brush tool, click on that. And we're actually just going to draw from here to here, and it's going to add to this selection. So, and you can't hold down shift to make it straight, so you just have to make it as straight as you possibly can. So just start on the end, hold your mouse down, and then just click and try to draw the straightest line you possibly can to the other end. Now if you mess up, just hit edit, undo pencil, and try it again until you're happy with the results. What we're going to do is we are going to create a bundle of grapes. So we're going to connect this big grape to the little grape, and we're essentially going to make a bunch of little grapes from here to here that resembles a group of grapes. So in order to do that, with your selection tool, so click on the big grape, hold down shift, click on the little grape. Go to Object, Blend, Blend Options. Now you have 3 different options. We're going to choose Specified Steps, and then you choose this number. I'm going to choose 5, but basically what this is, it's how many, it's going to make little circles from here to here. So how many circles do you want? If you put 5, it's going to make 5 circles. So if you want more grapes, make the number smaller. If you want bigger grapes or less grapes, make the number bigger. No, I think I got that backwards. The smaller the number, the bigger the grapes. The larger the number, the smaller the grapes. There you go. So you choose your number, click OK. Now it didn't do anything, so in order to make it work, you got to go Object, Blend, Make. And if you notice, now we have a group of grapes. And since I did 5, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grapes. And then we want to make it, usually bunches of grapes are not straight, so we're going to curve this a little bit. So we're going to grab your pen tool and click on it so we open up all the extra things attached to it, and go Convert Anchor Point Tools. And then with your mouse, grab this top anchor point in the big grape, and then just click and move your mouse, and you choose how much you want to curve your grapes. So you just move your mouse out until you decide that the curve of your grapes is what you want. Once you have the curve right, and if you don't like it, just go Edit, Undo, and redo it. Hit the selection tool, select off of it to deselect everything, and let's zoom out and see what our grapes look like. So far we have a flower, vase, and some grapes. The next thing we're going to do is make a tablecloth, or change the color of our tablecloth. So with the selection tool, select this back tablecloth right here, open up your brushes, do your swatches, and choose the color that you want your tablecloth. I'm going to choose, I think I'm going to choose this, I actually like this red here. So you trying to choose whatever color you want. Remember, you can choose Open Swatch Library and change everything. If you decide, like I did, like I like this tablecloth, but I think it looks awful with this vase, you can always come in here and change the color of your vase if you want to something else. I might just change mine to a green vase. I think that's what I'll do. So if you decide that your vase doesn't really match the tablecloth that you want, you feel free to change it. So now we're going to change the background of our wall. So we're going to change the wall color. In order to do that, we want to make sure that we have the selection tool selected, and we want to select the wall. Now if you know, you can just click and eventually get the wall, but an easier way of figuring out where the wall is to go View Outline. And it's going to outline all of our shapes. So then you can see where our square is exactly. So then you can click on it so that you know you're selecting the right thing. And then go View, back to Preview. And then you can go to the colors and choose whatever color you want for your wall. Let me see what kind of color I want. I'm going to choose a green color for my wall, I think. You can choose whatever color you want. I'm just going to go with green. Once you choose your wall color, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do, this is kind of a window almost, and so we're going to add a window seal so it looks like it's more like a window. So we're going to zoom in on our window seal. We are going to start by selecting the pen tool. So the fifth one down, click on it to open up and make sure you have the pen tool selected. And then click on the very bottom of the picture. Click, and then just click again on the corner of the picture. Go up to the top. Click, and it'll delete half of it like that. Don't freak out, that's perfectly normal. And then go out and however thick you want your windowsill to be, and then click, and then go down. Whoops, accidentally clicked. And then go down. If you notice, once I have a straight line, once I have a straight line, you notice that a light green line pops up. That's my guide. That's going to show me that I have a straight line. So go ahead and just click, and then go to the edge again. And once you have a straight line, that lime green is going to show up. So click again, and then just finish it off right there. So then I have my little window seal. Open up your brushes if there's not already, and then go to swatches. And choose whatever color you want your windowsill to be. It could be gray, it could be a brownish color. Whatever color you want. If you want to see it, how it's going to look with the rest of the picture, just kind of zoom out. I think I'm going to choose this color right here. So just find a picture that you like for your windowsill. And if you notice, our flower kind of messed up. So with this selection tool, click on, holding down Shift, you can click on each part of the flower. Whoops. If you mess up, just go Edit, Undo Move. And let's try this again. You're going to click, hold down Shift, and just select the different parts. Then you're going to go Object, Arrange, Bring Forward. Or, the easiest part is probably to grab your windowsill and go Object, Arrange, Send it back. Well, not all the way back though. Object, Arrange, Send backwards. Just keep doing it. Object, Arrange, Send backwards. Object, Arrange, Send backwards. One more time. Object, Arrange, Send backwards. Maybe one more time. Object, Arrange, Send backwards. There we go. So now our flower is in front of our thing. So you could do it either way. You could grab the windowsill and Object, Arrange, Bring backwards, or you could grab the flower and go Object, Arrange, Bring forward. So it's whichever one you want. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some text along this path right here, announcing the grand opening of the Cambria Museum. So let's zoom in. And click on the text tool, down click on it, and we want to type on a path. And then we're just going to click towards the bottom half of this path. And if you notice, we now have a line, and when we type, it types along that curved line. So we're going to type announcing our grand opening. Not a whole lot. Okay, so we're just going to put announcing our grand opening. And then with the selection tool, I'm going to, not with the selection tool, let me go back. I'm going to highlight. Make sure you're still in the text tool. I know I told you the selection tool, but make sure you're still in the text tool. Highlight it and change the font. You can change it to whatever you want. Just make sure it stays within the picture. I might choose that one. I mean, you can choose whatever font you want. And then if it's too small or if it's too big, just change the font size to make sure it fits on the entire phrase fits on your picture frame. So find a font and then change the font size accordingly to whatever font you chose. Okay, once you have that done, you can hit the selection tool and select off of it, and you can see what you have now. We're going to come down here to the bottom text. With the selection tool, we're going to select this, and we're going to increase the size to make it fit all the way across. And then we're going to grab this bottom one, and I'm going to scoot it over a little bit so that the last word of starts with the T of art. So kind of line those up a little bit. Then I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Use my arrow keys to put it exactly where I want. Then I'm going to take this book and I'm going to bring it down a little bit more on the tablecloth, and I'm going to rotate it a little bit. So I have something like that. Let me zoom out really fast so we can see the entire picture so far. You want to make sure that your words don't go outside of this wall. So like make sure you don't have something like that. Make sure everything's doesn't go outside of your picture. Okay, so now the very last thing we're going to do is we're going to mess with our picture frame now. So I'm going to zoom in. Okay, I'm going to select our picture frame using the selection tool. And then I'm going to go to my brushes over here. If you have your swatches on, just hit the brush thing over here. And I'm going to scroll down. And right here where it's gray, it says picto frame. I'm going to choose that to make it look a little bit more like a picture frame. And I think if you want, you can go ahead and kind of change the colors of the picture frame if you wanted to a little bit. I necessarily would probably just leave it, probably be easier. So now you have your picture frame. So now you should have a finished product that looks something like this. Looks really nice. Now that we're done, we're going to go ahead and save it. So we're going to go File, Save As, and we're going to save 2 different copies. Click to wherever you want to save it. I'm saving mine to my desktop. And you're going to save it as your last name, first initial, underscore, Cambria Museum. Make sure it says Adobe Illustrator.ai. And then we're going to save it again. If it asks you anything, just click OK. Accept the defaults. File, Save As. Save it once again, same name, except for this time save it as an Adobe PDF. And then hit Save. Accept any of the default questions. Now, do not forget to upload the Illustrator file to be graded, and then upload your PDF so your peer reviewer can review it.